I'm Doug Husen, and I became involved with the early days of this ministry when it was called TLC, and it came about in an interesting way I'm excited to tell you about. How about you, Maureen?
And I am Maureen Husen, and yes, I would say I got involved about 1987, somewhere around then. I first heard about Corona Life Services way back when it was first TLC. And so for me, it really began with Pam Boer and Trudy Schmidt. So I had come out to Crossroads in 1985 to intern under the then youth pastor, Chuck Boer. And it was at that time that I met Trudy, and Trudy and Pam started TLC, which they called Tender Loving Care, which was a ministry to women who found themselves pregnant.
Well, for me, the first time I heard about TLC was a personal meeting with Trudy Schmidt. And she described that she was forming a board, and I said, well, I can't be on a board for something like this. I'm a little too busy with a handful of kids and a career. But I put in a request to IBM Corporation for a donation for the start of the nonprofit, and they granted us $1,200. It wasn't a lot by today's standards, but it was enough to confirm this was a ministry worth moving forward with.
We were only open on certain days of the week. I can't remember what days they were. I feel like it was like a Tuesday, Thursday, and it was at certain times that we were available, because it was the ground floor of the whole ministry.
It really is the fulfillment of the scripture that says, do not despise the day of small beginnings. Because it was a small beginning, helping one, and then a second, and maybe a third. And you think about what it's become today, able to help people literally anywhere in the world at any time of day. It's pretty amazing.
I mean, Corona was probably maybe 50,000 people. It wasn't that huge. And to see that our city has grown, and to know that Corona Life Services and now Zoe is growing with what is needed, and the technology that you're utilizing today is so important. I think it's making a huge difference in how effective you are being to help not only the mom, but the child and the father. And it continues to move forward in that way.
I'm excited about Zoe and this next season in the life of this ministry for a number of reasons. One is the whole concept of Zoe and allowing particularly young people who are in the digital age to connect in a very personal way that they relate to with the ministry that we've always known is behind that name. And to understand that they could be counseled literally online in a moment of desperation at any point of the day or night is pretty exciting. We're not limited anymore to a Tuesday and Thursday for about 3 hours in the afternoon. But more than that, it's the personal, relational connection with people. And this is going to make all of the difference. They may find their way into the doors of a facility here or other places, but they can receive a large percentage of the ministry before they ever walk through the doors. That excites me.
To see the ministry the way that it has moved forward, it's just such a blessing to know that it is built on the shoulders of those that have gone before. You know, they kind of laid the foundation, and it grows and it moves to the next level and the next level. And so it's wonderful to see how God works in that way, and God provides.
It's a privilege to be a partner, a financial partner with this ministry. In the early days, we were, as we could, and periodically we would wait for that annual banquet. A couple of years ago, we crossed over. Oh, this was brilliant. Not on our part, but on behalf of the ministry. They got us to be monthly donors.
Yes,
oh, how did you do that? But the benefit is the ministry then can plan and predict what they have available to scale their plans and ministry accordingly. And so I think that's super practical, super important. So if you're a once-a-year giver, consider being a monthly donor.
I think it's good for us to be challenged, because somebody's going to give somewhere. People in the United States are always asked to give in so many different ways. So why not give to a cause that is making a difference for eternity, I think.